like that. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wherever it is where you're at. Tis another scene in the night of London. In the Union Arms, as Alan has gone by for a drink and to do a bit of business in his downtime. Much like Adriana in her coffee shop, Alan is typing away on his laptop. It's some sort of incomprehensible program. God knows what it is. It's probably highly illegal malware, for all we know. Obfuscated, out of sight. Not really paying much attention to what's going on around him. Just having procured a small bottle of blood for the scene, he just pulls a bit in and takes a small sip every now and then as he whiles away his time on his computer. It's fairly quiet tonight, perhaps because of all the drama recently. There's been a lot going on at Elysium. One could say shit's going down. And maybe people have become a bit skittish. But Alan is no worse for wear as he sits there.
Steve has gotten back to the place after some time ago. He pissed off someone. It doesn't seem to have harmed him. No word has come that he's really in trouble or anything. So he doesn't really think about it anymore. He's just like, he's glad that it's just over with. So he parades in. Him and his rather large +1 large man comes in. They look around. So, tell me, what are you just?
He's obfuscated. You don't see. Well, you kind of.
He's talking to Earl. His
he's talking to Earl. Sorry.
So, Earl, your point. Oh, what is something like a little bit more gay? He says to him. The ghoul laughs almost reflectively as he just, good one, there you go. No, it's it's on me. Just take point. He looks over. There's, as said before, not too many people. Just bring me one of them. The special ones, yeah. And he goes over to a booth that's closed, and he sits down and waits for his ghoul. You'll notice the ghoul, I think, because he will come up and it's not extremely big, but he is a rather large gentleman.
Cool. Alan will notice this recent acquaintance and to kind of sigh to himself. What a coincidence. He's just talking to himself. But as he does, as you take a seat.
Yeah, and the ghoul has joined him.
Yes, you do. Alan will stop whatever he's doing. He'll just drop it and snap his laptop shut to the point where it's loud enough that actually breaks the obfuscate. So suddenly you notice him. It's kind of a strange experience because you always knew he was there. It's like you just didn't really bring it up. Yeah, it's that feeling. It's that strange feeling. Wait, he was always there. So it's kind of it's a normal yet abnormal experience to go through. But you don't have too much time to linger on this factoid as Alan begins walking over to you, laptop in hand, actually.
Please, move in a little. Think we're going to have company. Alan, right? That was your name, right?
Yeah, Alan.
Take a seat. I'm getting the feeling we're about to be, talking to each other.
Alan's eyes kind of shifted that.
Well, you wouldn't be coming over here all, like wide open, the boys from Tombstone, unless you had something on your mind. Let's hear it. He points to the seat in front of him, or next to him.
Alan takes a seat a bit awkwardly. It's a bit difficult to discern whether this is in part due to his social awkwardness, or whether he takes issue with your statement for some reason. But he makes a half-baked attempt to sit down cordially, if such a thing can even be done cordially.
Hello again.
Hey.
Doing all right?
You could say that.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're uncomfortable. You want Earl to, take a smoke or something? I mean, he can piss me off sometimes. He smiles over at the ghoul. Only sometimes.
I don't really mind his presence, but well,
I don't really mind his presence. Oh, well.
It depends.
Your loss. Your problem. He says again with a grin on his face. So, what's there something, you suddenly just like with a purpose came over here, unless of course you're wanting a free drink or something.
Well, just had a couple of questions. I hadn't seen you in a while. You kind of made the grand entrance and then disappeared.
How's that? You say grand entrance, what do you mean?
Well, you managed to get someone to, scare half a bloody club room out the building.
Oh, that, lady with the weird name. Yeah, she couldn't really keep, all the things inside her head. That's her problem, not mine.
Well, she was.
Was? Excuse me?
She didn't exactly get all gangrelly until you talked to her.
Well, I tend to bring out the animals in most ladies I talk to, but oh well. No, shit happens. Again, that was her problem, not mine.
I don't know. If she frenzied Elysium, I don't think you'd be saying it was.
That would be her biggest problem. I hear that's a very naughty thing indeed.
And you'd be dead.
No, I wouldn't.
You do know who that person is, right?
I've got my suspicions, but no, not exactly, and neither do I care too much. I mean, she's probably like, the human equivalent to like a demolition crew, right? An entire demolition crew, something. She goes in, a building gets collapsed, and she walks out again, right? Something like that.
She's the herald of the gangrel.
Yeah, she goes in, people die, she's the only one who walks out. Something like that, yes?
No.
Well, could have fooled me.
She's much stronger than that. If you feel confident to underestimate her further, though, pay a visit to the Brixton. I'm sure she'll show you her full talents.
Oi, Alan, listen. I did not say too much. Obviously, I might have gotten her at a bad time. Well, I might have read something wrong in the situation. For that, I am. No, that could be better judgment. But I talked to her, which I don't think is a crime. I did not say anything. I did not accuse her of anything. She completely lost it because of something I am not master of or anything. And this is somehow my fault. Sorry. That doesn't, what is the old saying, that does not compute.
You're saying is don't escalate the situation. Don't talk to people who are about to frenzy. You'll just cause them to get even angrier. Just let them
And
be.
again, that's my fault for not being able to see when people are and when people are not. I've seen one person who seemed like the nicest, calm as a fucking coma, and then suddenly went off.
Yeah, she was not that though, was she? I mean, come on, I had my back turned to her and
Well,
really tell what the fuck was going on.
Does that mean we cannot talk to people?
No, but it means we shouldn't.
I still don't see the point.
Well, Mr. Mont was quite proud of her for having you run off, so...
Yeah, and from what I heard, there were no reconstructions, meaning she actually didn't do, well, she actually didn't, do anything really problematic.
Lucky for you, I'd have been able to at least run out of there in time.
Yeah, and no one in the world is able to do that. That's true. I forgot that. Yeah, really, really fortunate for you. Now, tell me, are you a betting man? You're a gambling man?
No. He just says that super flatly, like it's always just narrow.
So you like by the numbers, sort of, always doing it the right way, right? You see, I got some tickets, to this year little sporting event, yeah. And some people, like to go, play some bets, make some money. In a good, entertaining way, not without the old, slogging of having a real job and, going in the fucking hours and, dying slowly. But you're just thinking maybe you wanted to get in on it. If not, that's no problem. Probably got some everything else I could hook you up with. You cards, something like that.
Get him what? You still haven't explained it. He just looks at the a bit confused and slightly frustrated.
Do you play? And he does this. Cards.
Sure.
Good. Then would you, at some point, if I set up a game with some very respectable, good gentlemen, we'd set a couple of quid off, up on the game, we'll see who wins, something like that. Would you be interested in that?
Who are these people, and why should I be interested in particularly interested in this?
Because playing cards is fun. Suckering people and essentially just beating their asses in poker and taking their money is more fun. That's why.
I suppose this wouldn't be tampered with in any way.
I like where you're going. No, I hadn't thought of it, but now just mentioned that. No, of course not. But I like you. I like the way you're thinking. You're going straight to, oh, is this guy fucking with me? I like that.
I'm gonna make a wit sympathy roll because okay, that's only one success. That's still a success because success doesn't actually count in this game.
You can tell that he seems genuine.
Okay.
He seems a little surprised over something you said, maybe. Uh, but he has a grin on and a grimace that he's thinking about something intently now.
Right. So what about the people exactly?
Yeah, no, people who can't, wait to throw away money they don't have that they borrow from some other sources, and that they have to, owe favors to, some sort like that. Yeah, it's it's a communal help program. You know, people who need to learn, life lessons the hard way. They can't control their gambling habits, so we help them out. Then for some favors, it's nothing. There's no problem. And hey, sounds like, hey, you know what? They might win. Some of these lads are, they're pretty good. Just too, little much too much of cowboys. They can't fucking sit still, and too many tells. But they need to learn their lessons somehow.
Right.
But tell me something. That girl, Johnny, yeah. You're saying that she's the herald. So you said like one for every, what you call it, clan, or what?
Yeah.
Right. So they're like, okay, fair enough. And the owner here is also, no, that's just owner of this place, yeah, keeper of this place. Right.
Yes.
All right. All right. No, just curious. Do you know who all the people are? Are they all, most of them like shrouded in, all black helicopters and bands and, sunglasses?
Not necessarily. Why are you looking for your herald? What clan would you be from?
I'm from, the circle with no, what you call them? It's like fruity name. What was it? He snaps his fingers. It's them. Dava.
He seems to chuckle at that for whatever reason. Right. And he will with empathy on that. Because he does not believe that at all. Well, is he be telling the truth?
It seems that he is telling the truth.
Or which compels you to not say something inflammatory? Yeah, okay. There was something he was going to say, but he doesn't say it. It's not really noticeable either. It's like you might notice his mouth twitch or something, after he's done laughing. But it seems to meld into the laugh itself. All right, David Harold. Haven't met that one. Let's see. Go for Harold. Graves. For some reason, I know her name. Just give me a sec. She hasn't really shown her face too much recently. Can't remember. Strange. I should remember, David.
Oh well, I'll find out myself. That's no problem. And just getting situated. It's not too long since I got into this whole thing, so still getting the hangs of it. But
How long have you been around?
uh, not too long. Less than you, I think. I'm not sure. Um, there's some. I guess there's some. Time here and there. Where people don't. And I don't really know the specifics of it. I've been doing what I do for quite some time though. Oh,
Well, if you can't remember your own clan, I'd say months.
Well, I just told you my clan. What do you mean, my keeper? Well, we haven't been introduced since, as far as I understand, and that's me, your covenant or whatever organization. I thought that would have been better, but fair enough.
Alan never gave you his covenant.
But I thought, and I still think that that's more important than what clan they are, right?
I never insinuated otherwise, but it's an important, well,
That was my first
fundamental.
priority. Since none of my clan were, well, in any hurry or in any way, really, trying to get in contact with me or elude me to get in contact with them. So, my covenant did. So, I just focused on that to begin with, to be honest.
Well, always remember to stay in touch with family. It may help you out every now and again.
Yeah, well. So, is there like a leader? Do you know who's like? Is there any one person calling the shots?
He narrows your eyes. You disrespectful to Alan. uh, that much is quite obvious. Is like a slight cringe. Please tell me you know what a prince is.
I've got an idea, but
And yeah, and he does that. It's not as long. Again, he feels like it may be similar to how he regarded clan. The leader of the city is our dear Prince Hawthorne.
some of these names, they're still,
That is something you should absolutely know if you're going here.
well, consider me informed.
He did call on Elysium to be held in the near future.
Well, I don't think if I haven't done what I'm supposed to do in the coming, then I shouldn't be there, right? If I'm not, accepted like a member or something.
If you want to go, just find your herald. They'll point you in the right direction.
Well, I think I'm going to keep it low, stay out of sight for the moment.
That tends to work for my kind better than a Deva. Then again, perhaps you're learning from Miss Bellafleur's mistakes.
Then you got to consider a mind, and I'm guessing you wouldn't have believed me or didn't see what I just said about my clan coming, meaning that probably don't strike you as the typical member. So maybe it does do me favors. So please don't presume anything on my part, right? Or we'll be real good if you don't do that. Then I won't presume that you're an antisocial weirdo, right?
I don't need to presume anything.
Well, you just did.
He kind of gives you like a weird. It's almost like it's almost condescending, almost like he's. Actually, has your kindred, has Mr. Flanagan been around long enough to know what maquettes are?
You would have heard the word.
Right. So he doesn't really know anything about what they are in particular, just he's heard them in
Not
passing.
enough. Not enough to really be, I mean, a little.
Right. Then he will utilize his beast and use Auspex. Oh, and that's 3 successes. So he gets to ask 3 questions.
Can you do that in Elysium? Or is it just higher difficulty?
You can do that in Elysium. The thing with Auspex, which makes it so dangerous, is that you don't actually know when people are using it.
Okay, never mind.
So yeah, there's actually no tell to this, other than he might stare at you for like a second longer than he should, or something like that. He might appear a bit bedazzled.
Something about the difficulty being higher or something. Never mind.
No, it shouldn't be difficulty. No, I can't remember anything about difficulty being higher. It's generally 8, 9, 10. If not, then we can talk to an ST about it, because I am unaware. You do get a +5 to resisting frenzy in here. That you get. It is more difficult to frenzy, but
all right.
And you do feel a sense of comfort actually when you both Alan is.
But you stare at Steve for some time, and Steve is going to stare back at you and look.
Well, yeah, he's so.
Oh,
he's used his Alan's used his 2nd level power, and he's going to ask 3 questions of your character. You don't hear these questions; these are to Alan's beast itself. And he will ask how. The first question is how Mr. Flanagan met Earl. His ghoul.
One more time.
How Mr. Flanagan met Earl, his ghoul.
The answer that will come back is something to the effects of.
It's a vision, so it's kind of it's somewhat vague.
You will see a situation. It's weird because it seems like a situation that's looped. It's different situations, but it's the same. You see a pub, a typical English pub, where you see 2 men especially, which could be an earlier version of the 2 gentlemen that now sit around you, drinking and laughing. They're seeming to get drunk off their ass, essentially.
Right. I'm sorry. Did you say it like come back and there'd be more to it, or was that the vision? No, I don't mind that it is. Sorry,
the vision is that it's probably not just one night. It's probably a lots of nights where they've met and been drinking.
Right. Then he'll ask, why did Mr. Flanagan come to the city? And again, as he kind of pulls its claws over Alan's eyes.
You'll see. It's like the city of London, but with walls, very very high walls around it. But those walls are not made of concrete. They're made of it's like an entwined, like a hedgerow, and like
Giant hedges.
yeah. It doesn't seem impassable, but it just seems uncomfortable to go through that. And you see like this city is you see the city as a lush and safe place, it seems.
And the final question would be, what is Mr. Flanagan's current mission in the city, or current objective? This one sounds a bit more technical, actually, compared relative to the other questions, which are rather cryptic.
You'll see. There is. It's a meadow of a forest. There's like a tree stump, a tree that's been chopped down. You just have the stump standing there, and then on the stump there is this. It's been neatly prepared, and there is a butcher's knife, like a meat cleaver stuck in it, and there is some. It looks like a fillet of some kind that's been chopped out, and it's lying there. And there's a waiter comes over, takes over the fillets on a silver plate, and then he proceeds to go a little bit inwards into the clearing, and presents it on a neatly dressed table. Very, very neatly dressed, very beautiful, with not chandeliers, but like lights and mahogany, everything in the best detail. And then he puts it down, and that's pretty much what you see.
Right. Alan, yeah, he says, because this is 3 questions, the divisions come and go. It takes a few seconds for him to process it all. And he just kind of gives one long blink for a moment.
Oh, do you want to see if we can get this guy some help? Because I think he's going to like get an epileptic fit or something. There's a bit of laughing you will hear between the two. Yeah, Gov, he seems a bit off. You all right, Gov? Can I go take a pizza? Yeah, sure. No problem.
Oh, I'm quite all right, don't worry.
Yeah, you see, when weird people say, I'm quite all right, don't worry, that's when I really start worrying.
Yeah, you should be.
I should or I shouldn't?
Well, there is a slight discomfort. The meat cleaver, the sight of meat cleaver brought back unpleasant memories for Alan. Why would a diva want to take a trip to the woods? I guess it's awfully romantic. Or creepy, depending on how you go about it.
He looks at you. Well, turns out I'm not as badly informed as I thought. I thought it was common knowledge that there wasn't supposed to be any. He quiets down. That's an interesting and very, very specific thing to ask now, isn't it?
Well, I'd see if you'd be upfront about it, but you tended to avoid it, so I was just going to be upfront and honest with you.
Yeah, upfront and honest about something I haven't spoken to anyone about. So either you're much, much more dangerous than you appear, or you've been doing something naughty. You've been doing something you're not supposed to. So
He just kind of looks at you with this look of like absolute innocence and complete confidence in himself.
See, now I will try to look at that. What do we roll for that?
Oh, he's not trying to be manipulative. He's not trying to lie to you.
No, but Steve is watching this guy close, and he's going to spot if there is something fishy going on, or if he reacts to what he just said. So, do we roll a wits?
It depends. What are you trying to figure out about it? Are you trying to spot something fishy? Because there's a lot fishy about, which is obvious. You don't really need to roll for that. Like, he more or less just exposed himself for some reason. Actually, you can make a roll for that if you want.
Yeah, but what do we roll?
It would be wits empathy. Also, you haven't heard about Auspex, have you? As you've only heard Maquette in passing, so you haven't. You said you don't know about them.
Not enough. So yeah,
No.
It will be a difficulty 10.
Well, no, it's not. It's not like a high difficulty. In this, you minus die for it. So it depends on how much die you think you should minus because of your lack of knowledge on the issue.
Yeah, he doesn't see. He just sits there and just, I was told I shouldn't supposed to tell anyone. That was my arse if I did it. So no, I'm going to be very frank with you and say I find that a little scary and a little problematic because people will know it's me that's been telling because there's no anyone else to tell. So, that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I know for a fact that no one who aren't supposed to know does know. And that gets me a little suspicious as to just how that happened.
Don't worry, I deal in sensitive information every night. And besides, we're kindred.
That's
We're
why
walking,
you're
talking horror shows.
Met for the second time. Right. Yeah. He looks a bit strangely at you again. I am not really sure what you're asking. Asking about something that's potentially very dangerous for me is not something I want to talk about. No, especially not here. So, is this a threat or is this what? What is this? Because threats apparently is not something you do well.
Oh, trust me, if I wanted to make a threat, I'd done it already.
Well, then what the hell is the idea of bringing it up?
He looks a bit disappointed, actually. And then he contemplates something. Again, you can
interrupts and says, because if you have gotten this information from someone, then I should be, very fucking scared that and I would be pretty much dead. Since that's not the case, I'm guessing something's off, which I don't understand how, but anyways, what I will say is I don't really want to talk about it because if I talk about it, I'm fucked. I guess you can understand, yeah?
That's fair enough. Don't worry, I shall not push the issue any more than I need or want to, and it's just as far as I want to push it. Lucky for you. Just be aware there are about a million different ways people can find things about you. Again, walking, talking horror shows. It's what we do.
Oh, you mean talking to our new best friend? Whatever you want to call him. And he just does this, you know, fanging Mac scary patch, yeah?
Yes.
Right, that sort of thing. All right, I got it. That's fine. That's, again, a bit creepy, but oh well. But yeah, please do talk about that some more, because I mean, I really would like to get my ass handed to me before I've gotten a chance to do something about it.
Don't worry. I can keep it. Even though it's weird, it sounds menacing, but there's like a strange.
Probably no more than I do now.
There's a strange honesty to it. It's like yeah. It sounds more threatening than it actually is.
Right, your hospitality has been obviously grateful and really weird. Oh, God, let's get out of here. It's been a pleasure. You know, hope I don't see you too soon. He again shoots you.
Oh, game of cards. Yes, I'd love to join. By the way.
Oh, you're in. Are you in? Or are you not? By the way, if you can do some fucking mojo, fucking whatever, no, you're not invited. Fuck you. You don't get to, you know, suddenly know all the cards and not suddenly just no. Now you're gonna have to work to get in, and it's a fucking good game though. He says, "All right, Mr. Fools, I'm gonna leave you here, and you know, enjoy your computery thingies, yeah." And he just shrugs a bit as he walks off, and him and the ghoul begin to make their way out of the place.
Alan, having successfully having managed to piss off and creep out Mr. Flanagan, having had a bit of fun there, will simply go back to his seat. After about, he takes about a couple of minutes. He literally just watches the entrance for 2 minutes, and then, having had his share of scares for the day, goes back to his original seat, which is in a turns his laptop back on and gets back to work as if nothing ever happened. And that is where our scene shall end.